Good afternoon. It's Wednesday. Welcome to Eight Questions with. I'm your host, Patrick. Have Cheetah will view. I'm sure the Cheetah will be down here shortly, though I did give him some catnip, so he might be stoned. He might be too stoned to come up, so we shall see. And I also gave him some wet food too, so maybe that'll slow him down a little bit, but who knows? So, due to unforeseen circumstances, this will actually be our last Women in Horror Month show. Our guest for tomorrow, Holly Lynch, has taken ill, and we're going to try to reschedule her in April. So, hopefully that will happen. Hi, Katie. Uh, 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 Glad you're here. Glad you're here. Let's see what else is happening. Oh, tomorrow night is not all lost though, because me and the Cheetah were saddling up and we're hosting the Midnight Hour tomorrow. That's right. Me and the Cheetah are taking over the Midnight Hour. Um, Due to unseen circumstances, we will be talking about 90s horror films, 90 horror films. So, yeah, so, I hadn't heard hardly anything about the new Scream 6 movie. If I could just get some information about it, who could I talk to? Maybe something Craven, something Craven, something craving something. Scream. That's who I'm talking. I'm talking to Steven. Oh my God, that guy's so. You know what? I have a feeling. I have a feeling Steven carries a book of Scream in his back pocket. I mean, I would like to try to stump him with a question. That's what I like to. I like to stump him with a question. Um, but we were talking to 90s horror. Obviously, Scream being the centerpiece of that movie. Came out in 1996, and it has spawned a lot of. Oh, that's not good, Katie. That's not good. Wow, and yeah, well, I'm sorry about that. Uh, yeah, depending. I mean, see how you feel. I will send you out a link when it's ready, and you can come on up. I mean, if you want to, for sure. Yeah, that would be awesome. Help me keep the Mr. Bones and Jennifer Tochi at bay. Uh, so Holly Lynch will probably be rescheduled for April. We will know more about that. I'll let you guys know more about that by Friday. We will be back here on Friday because I'm going to go to the calendar now because that's what I always do. Our guest for tonight, Nicole Vegas, will be here with us in about 12 minutes or so. I talked to her today, and I can tell you right now that she is a delightful young lady, and I really like her a lot. She is really cool, um, really a full of energy and life, and yeah, we had a nice discussion, and we're gonna talk about what it's like working, as an actress in today's world. I mean, she's succeeding against where most people are maybe even slowing down. She's just getting started, um, and her career seems to be doing pretty well. So we'll be talking to her about that and the pitfalls of working indie films in Vegas. Um, yeah, she is really sweet. She's really nice lady. So we'll be talking to her. I noticed that she flew around Facebook, letting everybody know that she was going to be on. So hopefully her friends will come on and support her. Um, I want to say this week has been phenomenal. We had a great show last night with Monique Candelaria. Wow, you guys must really like that lady because that interview was blowing the hell up. Same thing with Laura Talion. Wow. Uh, Kelly, Kelly's interview also doing extremely well. We had a special co-host on that show, Karen from Ocean Chick Films. We had a lot of fun with that interview, for sure. Um, yeah, that was fun. Kelly's always fun. So it's been a great week so far, and what a great way to end out the Women of Horror Month. And we're getting into April, and yes, I have the calendar. If you guys come here for anything else, I have a calendar. All right. So, like I said, tonight is our last night of March. We won't be doing any more shows. There won't be any last minute replacement for tomorrow. So tomorrow we will be dark here. But like I said, we will be back up at 10 p.m. tomorrow with the midnight hour. On Friday, we welcome Bill Obrist Jr. to the show. Horror icon for sure. Um, Tons of credits. Three from Hell, Criminal Minds, more than I can shake a stick at. I'm going to be definitely asking him what's his favorite role for sure, because he's got like over 200 credits. He's got to have a favorite one in there somewhere. So he'll be with us on Friday at 8 p.m. right here on Have Cheetah Will View. Then on the third of April, we are heading back to yeah, we're heading back. No, I forget where we're going. I'm confused. I think we're going to holy cow, where are we going? Where are we going on Sunday? I think we're going to Al's channel on Sunday. Yes, we're going to Al's channel. That's right. For Jason Lives, part 6, Jason Lives. Hi, Echo. Yep. Kelly and Karen are your girls, definitely. And we got more girls coming up. I promise, more girls coming up. So yeah, on Sunday we'll be heading to Al's channel to talk about Jason Lives, and then on the 10th of April we will be inviting our special guest Keith from Gorophobe. He'll be here. We'll be talking about part 7, the New Blood. Okay. April 5th, Joe Leone will be here with us, and he wrote and directed the film called Reap. So he will be here with us at 8 o'clock. On the 6th, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll say it on Friday. I cannot wait to meet Tasha Takasa. She's got some of the funnest credits I've seen on an actor in a very, very long time. Hey, ML. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Glad you're here. I see the party's getting started earlier every show. I'm blessed. I can't thank you guys enough. I'm totally tickled by that. There's been some nights where I'm just here holding my breath until I see the first person through the door. But you guys have been really rocking it this month, so I really appreciate it. So Tasha will be here on the 6th of April. And then on the 7th of April, we welcome Lady Malvolio herself. The Scream, the Queen of Screams, the hostess with the mostest. And she will be here on the 8th, on the 7th at 8 p.m. I'll be putting new banners up tonight so you guys can see where they're at, and you guys can hit the, you can hit the, remind you of when the show's at. The 12th, we'll see Caleb Baker will be here with us at 8 p.m. On the 13th, we have professional scarer, and not from Monsters University either. Professional scare artist and cosplayer Jenny Aguilar Mickelson will be here at 8 p.m. And then we have the mighty Tim Hatch will be here with us on the 14th. And we have some other shows that we can't wait to bring out to you, which we'll get to as soon as we hit April. All right. So fun activities here on 8 Questions With. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Glad you guys are all here. It is actually turning a little bit warmer here in Michigan. It's actually 53 degrees right now at almost 8 o'clock. It doesn't seem like it's getting earlier either. It doesn't seem like the daylight's getting later. It seems early. Okay. Oh, of course, if you guys want to share us out, that'd be awesome too. Those who can, that would be great. If you guys can do that on Twitter or here on YouTube, that'd be awesome. Or Facebook or whatever social media platforms you have. I'll be glad that'll be most helpful. And fishing man, what's your favorite fish? What do you aim to? What do you like to catch? I know it's starting to get warmer here, so I know that people will be going out and trying to catch catfish and carp and I guess bass too. Yeah, bass. Warm weather for bass. So that would be fun. I keep thinking for some reason that ML stands for Major League. Like he's a Major League fisherman. I know that they have a fishing league. That would be fun to talk to. I like to, you know what? You know what? Yeah, just gave me an idea. I should go find a fisherman to talk to. All right. You guys might have noticed that there's no library hall today either this week. Unfortunately, the car is still on the kapoots, but we have a plan. I actually have it being charged right now, and tomorrow morning I'm going to be taking it out and having the battery replaced, and hoping against all odds that is really all it's really needed, a new battery. If not, it's going to be a new starter, and I'm not happy about that. But I'm not even happy about the battery, to tell you the truth. All right. Well, anyway, our guest is here, so I'm going to go get her. Here we go.
Hello. How are you doing?
Oh, good, good.
It seems like we just spoke.
Huh? Oh yeah. Haven't I? What are we going to talk about? What are we going to? We talked ourselves out. What are we going to do?
Did, but we can reiterate for everybody that missed out on our private conversation.
Yeah.
I do have my tea that I usually like drinking. Can you see it?
Oh, good, good. Tea is good.
Yeah, I love that it says she could, so she did. It's like my favorite. I just make sure I don't burn my mouth or anything.
Right. Yes. Yes. I was ready. I loaded for bear.
Oh, you got yours, and see, we are ready for this.
Yeah. This is coffee. This is coffee is our friend. That's our motto here at 8 Questions with.
I think it's anybody's friend nowadays. Is like, give me some extra shots of espresso, please.
Yeah. Yeah. That, you know what though? God, I probably should do that. I should actually put some extra espresso in there. But I get that really strong dark roast coffee, and I have this is a pretty big cup right here. This is a
Yes, it is. Yeah,
yeah.
yes.
So
You just take one a day, or is that your?
I did two. I did two yesterday because I had two shows yesterday.
Oh goodness, yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for having me on the show and connecting with me and sharing who you are, what you're about, your thoughts, and giving me some good advice. As you know, I just started about a year ago in this acting industry, which there is so much to learn and do.
Yeah.
And I like that I've had the blessings with the lessons. A lot of people have then come to me, hey Nicole, I'm going through this, and I know you went. And I try to guide them and protect them and validate what's going on with them so they can move on and not put their energy into something that's not productive or good. There's too many productions and too many sets to be on that are really good and productive.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's just because just because you land a role on a show, doesn't necessarily mean that you're entire. You have to be locked into it. If you go on a set and you don't like, you get the bad vibes going. The bad juju. Seeing people do things they shouldn't do. Seeing crew members maybe take a nip or a
The
toke.
digs or try to belittle or talk very derogatory,
Right.
or maybe there's something that doesn't sound right. So yes, you document, you take pictures, because if it's not written down, when I was a cop in North Las Vegas, it never happened. It's only hearsay. So you
Right.
do have to protect yourself and you have to document. Paper trails are fabulous. Not this, paper trails.
Paper
It's a
trail.
really great way to protect yourself and to be able to have something that they are going to have to respond to. They're going to have to address it.
I've done quite a few of these, and I've actually done over like 130 on my other blog. Yeah,
My goodness.
130 of these. Yeah. Well, 100. No, actually, 112 here, 131 on the blog. So about 240 of these. And I'm really blessed to sit there and say I have never had an artist that came up to me and said, "Hey, I got put in a really bad spot. This happened to me, and this whatnot." I've been really blessed for that. And but I do know it happened. Honestly, a lot of the indie sets, they're actually pretty damn good places to work because
So
there's no
much
place
to
to hide.
learn.
There's no place to hide. You
That and what I learned, even if you're in classes, the best you could ever learn, hands down, anywhere, is on a set. So I
Yes,
mean, you get
I
hired, you
agree.
can volunteer. There's ways to get that experience. However, you're not going to get it unless you put yourself out there. Who are you? We discussed this. You have to market yourself. No one's going to say, "Oh, here, let me hold your hand," while I'm trying to figure out my path. Um, However, you can encourage people. You can. I usually post the acting opportunities on my page. I did end up getting a separate page now, so I'm not having my personal life
Mm.
intertwined with this acting career, which you did speak to me about, and it's really important. That was really great advice you gave me to Nicole Vegas time. Once it's done, I go back to Nicole Butler time. There,
Yep.
not to intertwine it and never have that separate, personal job.
Yeah, you got to set boundaries. You really do. It's otherwise you just get powered down. You just get ran over. I,
Yeah,
I'm I'm
absolutely.
I have to admit I really admire you because like I mentioned this before. When you came on, I said this is true, and it's like you're just coming into this just as a lot of people are would be actually be leaving. You're like you're late 30s, early 40s, and you're just coming into it. You have all that life experience, all that passion going into it, and I just think it's cool because you know what? There's been a lot of actors that have come into the game late, in Hollywood years, and they've had fantastic careers.
Yeah, I
Fantastic
heard
careers.
that. I heard about that.
Yeah.
Because they have that experience. I mean, they're innovative. They know how to when someone there's someone is going through something on set or they can't figure something out, and you step up to help out, and it just makes it run smoother. They're gonna remember you. They're gonna want you back on set. In the background, military. Or I thought I was tough, in Saudi. I do have pictures of my M60 on top of a Humvee, behind missiles. And then when I was in law enforcement here in North Las Vegas, I mean, just to know about the crime scenes and it's like when you do felony stops or you're building searching. I mean, there's so many skills that go behind it that you handcuffing techniques, and then when you are on a set if people did their homework or not on their role. Very important too. It's
I
not
just
just knowing your lines. You have to know your history, the environment. What is the description of your character? You should be able to do more work than just the lines, or you're not going to make it as actor or actress. You have to really bring that person to life.
I really am hoping that because of that, when they see your background, I just hope they don't laser in on all the military and on the law enforcement
Oh,
background and just
typecast me
and
as
just
just
start
law
and
enforcement,
cast you as a
military.
detective. Okay, she's going to be a general. She's either a general or she's the chief of detectives. No, don't do that. Hey, Kevin. Hi, John. John is here. John Doomsday Chris
I
is
don't
here.
see anything pop up. I don't see any questions. I don't see anything.
Are you on your phone or on your computer?
I'm on the computer.
Go
There's
to go to my
comments. Hold on. Let me check. Oh my goodness, there is a lot of comments.
yeah.
Hello everyone. I didn't see the comments at all popping up. I just thought it was still just us. Here we
No,
are.
no,
Here I
no.
am thinking it's just me and you again. And
No,
yeah, look at that.
we have an
Okay.
audience.
Yeah, I love it. What do I want to share? Something that helped
Uh,
me.
well, we got to go
That
back.
helped.
We got to go back. We're just,
Oh, we're gonna backtrack
yeah, we got to
now.
go
Okay.
back because we have a lot of catching up to do. Hello, Cassie. How are you? You are most welcome, Cassie. You are most welcome. Um, thank you, Kevin. Thank you for sharing this out. I appreciate that. So this is my only preset question for you, Nicole, is where were you born and where were you raised at?
In Buffalo, New York.
Oh, okay.
And you know what's fantastic? You know, my acting coach, Paul Capanella, he's from Buffalo, New York. Just saying. There's some good
Wow. Okay.
people coming from Buffalo.
Uh,
Miss my hometown.
how long did you live in Buffalo?
18 years of my life before I went to the military.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you were a youngster, what did you do? What did you were you always creative? Did you write? Did you dance? Did you act when you were younger?
No, none of that. What interests me, I guess, was climbing trees and horseback riding and fishing and running barefoot through fields. I was in the country most of the growing
Hanging
up.
out, hanging out by Niagara Falls.
Uh, that was about an hour away from the area that I was currently growing up in. Niagara Falls is fun. They have a fantastic area. It's called Eternal Flame in Orchard Park. You get to hike, and there's a flame that comes out of the ground. I like Canada. I used to go there a lot when I was younger days.
Uh,
They have a African lion safari. The only thing is, if you ever go there, my younger son decided to stand over the food, and that giraffe whacked him right across that Jeep. I was like, oh my God, he's going to die. He was okay. He was okay. It looked worse than what it was. But yeah, I do miss Buffalo. I mean, they call it the city of good neighbors, and it's true, and they're rooted. It's something that I always long to return to. In 24 years, I have not.
yeah, that happens though sometimes. Like I'm a native Californian, and I've been away from California since I moved here in '99 to Michigan, so it's been 23 years. But I mean, I think about it, but I don't ever act on it. Like, yeah, I
I've
want
been
to go.
acting on it for years. I was
Yeah.
like, however, Vegas has been really good. It has been very good to me. And I was able to connect to so many people out here and, the nonprofits. And then with this platform that I'm building and acting, I just talked to my friend. I'm going to give him a shout out. Rendarius, he has a nonprofit for suicide. He just had a book come out. We just spoke briefly after I got off meeting you earlier today. And if I can fundraise or help or spread awareness or connect people to what they need, then I feel like that's what I'm meant to do. That is my passion, and that's what drives me to excel in any area, so I can also bring what I love about community service.
Now, did you get that from your parents? Were your parents very active in that when you were a
I'm not
teenager?
allowed to talk. No, they weren't. I don't. I think from my grandma. My grandma helped raise me for a couple of years, and she, always did things like I did for my husband. When I met him, I held the door open. I would pay for everything. I think her goodness was installed in me when I lived with her for those few years, and she just showed me everything that was good, and I wanted to be just like her.
Did you like attend church with your grandma, or were you into the church at all?
No church. I feel I'm more. I did go to churches though. I went to all different types of religion. I feel there's a lot of truth in each one. I just feel more spiritual, more connecting to everyone and everything. And if someone needs something without using me, I like to help out. I like to redirect. If they're willing to want to help themselves, it's just that some people get so lonely out here. They don't know how to speak up or how to connect. So when I do come across people, often, a lot, I am able to connect, and I feel that part is something that I can bring into that acting film industry, which I connected and help people get job opportunities, or directors are new in the area and they want to meet other directors. It's just that networking, connecting people to each other, which I think it builds the film community. I love it.
Now, a lot of these skills you're mentioning, though, you had to develop them. Now, what made you decide to go as an 18-year-old? I mean, most young ladies at 18, they're thinking about going to college. You're thinking about, courses.
I'm a knuckle dragger.
Yeah, and you did the
college
military.
material. I have like one class math that I couldn't do it for associates. I have all these extra credits. I just wasn't college material. I just more of a hands-on person that learned. And I felt my grandma was like, well, if you don't go in the military, I'll never help you. I already thought I needed a lot of help already growing up. So I went in and I did okay. I was chow runner. That's the worst job. That is the worst you can be assigned. No one wants to be a chow runner. And then I moved up to an element.
What's a chow runner?
You have to announce your flight in front of like the snake pit. That's where all the attack officers are, and you are last to eat. Which I ate so quick, they actually told me to slow down. I was really fast with running, and the people go, "Don't outrun me! Don't!" They're afraid. Really athletic, push up, pull ups. I was just very athletic, and I was able to adapt to taking on any kind of workouts or whatever they had us do. I just excelled in it. I didn't get to my one thing. It was supposed to be like 14:30. If I would have matched it or beat that score, one of the attack officers said he would be chow runner for the day. So close. I was so close. That would have been great to see.
What were some of the fun experiences you had in your career? I mean, were you there for 4 years or 6?
Yeah, I did a little over 2. And when I was in Saudi Arabia, I can't get in trouble now. I wasn't even driving. We were in a Hummer, and we decided to go full speed over like a bump, over a hill. We flew in the air, and the person smashed their head into the windshield. That was really bad. But they blamed it on the weapon somehow breaking it. They came up with a different story. That was stupid.
Yeah.
That was really dumb. I did a lot of dumb things. We don't want to talk about the dumb stuff.
No.
Really dumb too.
I mean, I'm actually really fascinated with this because the Saudi. What did you like? Let's talk about Saudi Arabia for a minute, because a lot of people we have no idea. I have no idea what it's like in Saudi Arabia. So.
I don't know. I mean, I think. Well, I never hardly got my food delivered on time. It was in the middle of nowhere wherever I was posted. So I ended up eating food that was like stuck out for hours. Ended up getting food poisoning. You know what's really bad when you have food poisoning and there's no bathrooms around? I was courteous and dug holes. So there's not. It's not like you. There's camel spiders out there. They're as big as my hand. They're fast.
Really?
We had to worry about like stray animals having bombs strapped underneath them.
Oh, right. So if you saw a dog or that was.
So just vigilance, being aware. I was there for 4 months. They had strict guidelines though. Like even when I went to eat at a chow hall, we couldn't just have like the spaghetti strap. I had to have sleeves.
Right.
There's guidelines there. What else was there? I was homesick. When I did get back, I literally kissed the dirty girl. I was so glad to be back.
How old was your stint? I mean, how old were you when you went over there?
I was 19 years old.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Was that your first time you ever? Was that first time you ever been away from home per se? I mean, did you ever go like?
Well, I was already away from home when I went in the military, but to be away from everything that I've ever known, yes, everything. I mean, there was like one store there. It's not like how it is now. I mean, when I took pictures, I had the disposable camera back then. We don't have the FaceTime like we used. It's just different. Different nowadays. What else went on there in Saudi? It was dry heat. There's sandstorms.
Were you treated?
I went to a bazaar, took pictures.
Were you treated fairly?
Maybe too fairly. I got towards the end. I got a lot of attention. I had like some of the main princes come to my post, and people were like, "What are they doing there?" And I have pictures of when I was dancing, and I didn't have to wear the mask. I got to do a sword dance, and then they made me wear something red. I'm like, "Am I getting married?" I was like confused. I was like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah, I'm a little young. I'm a little young to be married to some Saudi prince. I'm only 19.
What's going on? I was, I was just going with the flow. I didn't understand. I'm like, what? But it was safe, safe-ish.
There's a lot of princes in Saudi Arabia. There's literally
4 main ones at the time in '99 when I went. It was different. I got some stories, but nothing I'm going to publicly share, everyone. We all got some goody stuff when you get deployed. For the most part, though, I did all right. It was just adapting. You got
to come home. You got to actually. Now, did you enlist in '98?
I did.
So you got out in 2000.
2000 end. Yes, I did. Yes.
Did you get called back?
Before all that other stuff headed south, I did. So
so you didn't. You managed to not get called back because after 9/11.
I was pregnant. So I
Oh,
had
we
my
do.
choice if I wanted to stay in, and I would have been deployed again, and I couldn't leave my son behind. He would have been 2 months at the time. I
Right.
can't do that. But I did. Anybody that has to go through that, that has to be the hardest thing. That would devastate me. So
Where,
everything
where,
that I've ever done, family first.
where were you at when 9/11 hit?
I was actually in my very first home in the Poconos in Pennsylvania. We bought a house out there for like 47,000. It's unheard of, isn't it? And I,
Yeah.
I lived really rough. No fridge, no oven, no car for 3 years. I had a felt brush for a vacuum for a year. Just didn't have money. It was really, really rough. But I remember watching TV and holding my son and not really fully grasping at, I think I was 22, the whole circumstance of everything that I was seeing go on. It was devastating. Uh, and that's what brought up the prices of where I live. That 9/11 brought up where I live, the prices. So when it was time to move, I did make a profit and then moved out to Vegas when I was 25 years old.
So you must have been torn, though. I mean, you're right. I mean, you don't want to leave your son behind, but I'm sure there's part of you that wanted to go back for a little payback.
No, where I was going to be deployed. No, no, no. It wasn't like some Italy or no.
Oh,
I think that was going to be like Iraq or something. It was not Kuwait. I think it was Kuwait from what I remember. No, I'm okay. Got a good taste. When you haven't, risk versus rewards. That was, but I do have pictures. I wish I would have took more. You just don't know. Especially when I was younger, you just think it's going to be forever.
yeah.
Whatever's going on is good, but it doesn't. And then you find out with some good advice I have to share is when this opportunity knocks for something and you're just like, oh, I'll do it another time. Guess what? It might never be another time. That probably was your only time to take that opportunity and see what it's all about. I found that out too through the years of, the
Now, what did
lessons
you,
and
now, I just can't imagine what it'd be. I mean, it was bad as it was for America, but I mean, as a native New York and native of New York, I'm sure it really hit you pretty hard. Um, Now,
yeah,
when
it
you were
turns
when
my
you were
stomach.
in Saudi Arabia, I mean, when did you start getting where did you start in the back of your head? Did you think about becoming a performer when you were younger? Was that something that even crossed your mind, or were you just too busy just driving a
Mine was
Humvee
my
over a
goal
hill?
was always to serve and protect. I always loved law enforcement. And I did get to partake and actually be a cop, even though it was a little bit. I did resign to balance out my family life and that job. Something had to give. I'm either going to have job guilt or mom guilt. And the things I think law enforcement was the most extreme profession, not military, because you see things happen every day: the suicides, the domestic sexual assaults, the weird brothel inventory I had to deal with, and perv doctors and active informants, all that murder. They had I deal with sitting on a house that someone got killed in. It's nonstop all day. You don't get to escape it. And then when people see you, they're like, "Oh, this is my cop friend." So now instead of cop friend, I'm like, "This is my actress, my acting friend." I'm like, so it kind of makes me mindful now if I'm introducing someone, just their name, and it's up to them if they want to share what they're about.
Yeah. So you came to Vegas at 25. Now,
I did.
now what? Now, when you got to Vegas, what did you do once you hit? I mean, what did you do as far as your
My
career?
husband worked, and I maintained the two kids with our dog. That was a big move, and I was
Yeah.
afraid because a lot of people were like, "You're not going to make it. You're going to be back." People were upset that I had Kevin and I move out here, and it was a hard adjustment, mostly for my husband and kids.
Let me ask
And
you
little
this.
by little,
Let me ask you a question, Nicole. What was the bigger adjustment for you to make? Was it going to Saudi Arabia as a 19-year-old, or was it coming to Vegas as a of a married woman with two kids and a family? What was the bigger adjustment
Saudi
for you?
Arabia. Military was definitely harder than this, but the most hardest, besides law enforcement, has now been acting. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced in any area,
Okay,
ever.
we're getting closer to this though,
You're
because
getting,
now
you're
you're
getting,
now
you're
you're
warming up these questions. Come on, get a juicy one.
now, well, yeah, but see, we can't just go to dessert. You know this.
Ooh.
chow runner.
Right. All right. Oh, yeah, you guys hold off on the dessert. We're not done.
I'm
We're
gonna,
not.
I'm gonna,
Are we?
I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that now that I know what a chow runner is. I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna
Oh,
put.
the chow runner.
Uh,
Oh.
okay, so well, we gotta go to point A to point B to point C. We can't just go from point A
We
to
can't skip
that's no
around. I'm so good
fun.
at
That's
that.
no fun. Everybody wants to know how you got to where you're at. So we have to
I don't
show
know
them.
how I got to where I know how I got to where I am because
Well, yeah, but we
I
don't.
haven't tried it. So I was like, let's see what this is all about. I was like, let
So
me find
okay,
out.
you're in Vegas. Now you're 25. Now there's got to be some time somewhere where you woke up and said, I want to be a performer.
Well, first I
Did,
was a cop, and then I worked for the post office, which was that is some physical job. That mail handler, 70-pound sacks, throwing it into a cart and handling mail nonstop for a 12-hour plus 7-8 days in a row. Maybe
oh,
one day a break in between. That's exhausting. Acting's exhausting because I didn't know anything. I was just like, oh, I got this, and you know what? I don't have anything on that. Like I was sharing with you, my very first set was Warner Brothers, the cleaning lady that just came out. They did their first scene and very successful, and they did bump me, and they gave me my first Taft Harley, which I didn't know what that meant. They're telling me on set, go back to 2, reset. I was like, I mean, am I missing something? I was like, is it? I
no.
just wasn't comprehending. And they did pair me with somebody that was a lot younger. Like I was sharing, I was like, is this a cougar scene? I was like, and I told you, I was telling you, I was like, don't get fresh with me. He's giving me some small.
Now,
I was like, I'm your mother's age.
yeah, but when you were getting to that point, I mean, was there a time? I mean, you're sitting there. Were you watching TV? Were you
I almost wanted to be a masseuse instead, but I wanted something that I connect to more people with the nonprofits. So all the nonprofits I volunteered for, and no, I couldn't just pick one because there's people I come across that need a certain nonprofit redirection to help them out. And I didn't want to be. I did get offered to market one. You get paid for it, but I'm only stuck to one. I like to go where the wind blows, and I like to learn a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and enough to understand what's going on and also help out other people. So when they are going through some tough times or they're feeling a little lost, if they come to me, I can redirect them. Hey, this, and this.
Now, did that come from your grandmother? That aspect of your life?
It has to be. I don't know where else where it come from. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because
Vera.
okay, so I mean, was that something you did when you got to Vegas? I mean, right away, or
no?
How long did it take you to adjust to the lifestyle of Las Vegas? Because Las Vegas is different from any city in the world. It really is.
I think I'm still adjusting. There's a lot of hustle and bustle. I tried to move to Buffalo. I've been trying to escape Vegas, so I'm meant to be here. There's a lot of doors that open, and a lot of people want me to help them out. And I guess even from when I did the PTA at the schools, it was the biggest fall festival ever. The news came. Schools from other places and nonprofits reached out to me. How did you do this? How did you get this? And they want to know what I did. I was like, well, are you going to do it? Because it's work. That's how you get things done. Everybody's like, how did you get lucky? No. It could with meeting the right people, but that preparation meets opportunity. You have to be able to back up everything to get to an opportunity to say, hey, this, I feel like I could be an asset. I think I could contribute. I can learn. I can grow. It will come together better with the knowledge I've had with every step I took throughout my life.
I agree with all that. I do. I just want to know where it came from. That's what I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to find out where did that
drive you did. I just did it. I don't know. I guess because I just
nobody goes from 25 to 40 and there's got to be a time in that period there where you just got up and said, you turn your husband and you sit there and say, I want to try to become an actor. I want to try to become an actor. I feel like especially since she had no background.
She could, so she did. I don't. Well, I didn't just become it because I feel like I'm inspiring. I'm very in the beginning, and I have a lot of passion. And I think the passion, like we were saying, I didn't know. As soon as I found out, I knew pretty much nothing, and I was holding up production on that Warner. I felt like I was holding up. I felt like I couldn't help out or do because I didn't have enough knowledge. So then I signed up for all these acting classes, and then I signed up for stunt classes, and then I started doing my research, and I started going on these sets. I either got paid, and I did that indie. I learned the indie films, and then I also did volunteering. I wanted to learn as much as I can, so I am not holding up anything. Because when people
you know,
get
I
on
like
those
that.
sets,
I
yeah.
like that volunteering, and that's how I got my start. I got my start the same way. I volunteered at a venue, and I broke down the venue at the end of the night. I didn't get paid for it, but I learned how to do it. And after about 2 3 weeks, when they saw that I kept coming out, and hell, I got in to see the free. I got in to see the show, so that was my payment as far as I was concerned.
Oh, I
And
gotta
then
take
I
it
just
back.
I
Oh, you
stuck
know
around
what?
and it broke down. And then next thing you know, they're going like, "Hey, how would you like to work here?" And it was like, "Yeah, that'd be awesome." And so I got a job. So volunteering, I mean, I agree with that.
I have to actually tell you something I didn't share. Where actually it started before that first set. I met somebody, Tamia Dow, at Shade Tree. Shade Tree is for battered women nonprofit, and it was a few years back. And I let people know if you ever need anything, need any help with anything, please let me know. A few years later, which was last year, she's like, I need help for being a PA. I don't know what that is. But I helped her on a short film, volunteering, whatever I had to do and learn. And it kind of was like, hey, wait a minute. Let's see what this is about. And I think that sprung into uh, connecting. Corey Thompson was my first acting friend, and he connected with Julie Goldman that got me on that first set, Warner Brothers, the pilot. So I got to do the pilot, and I got to do the final.
You get to do that without any classes at first.
Yeah, do
Now,
that.
you know what? I say that I say that, but you know what? It's not the first time I've heard this.
Oh, goodness.
There was another guest that we had on who decided that they would go to they went to Craigslist and looked in the back of Craigslist and see if and there was somebody looking for an actor for a day shoot, and she went down there and says, you know what, I'll do it, and she had no experience at all. And she was very much like you. They told her, okay, well, we're going to do take two takes. She had no idea what she was supposed to do, but she just went down there and said, okay, I'll do it. So yeah, it happens that way. So
And
you
they had
walk
me
down.
back. They did have me back, and they all came up to me, every different group, because that's a huge production. So I got to talk to the directors and AD again, and the COVID team and the cast. They all remember me from the first one, which I didn't think they were. And they're like, of course. I'm like, oh, okay. So that be rememberable. That's another thing. Don't copy other people. And I'm
Now,
going to
how
share
many?
that.
Now,
Do
yeah,
not
you said
copy. You
no.
be you and embrace what you're already good at, and then learn what you have to build. Don't lose what you're good at, though, by trying to figure out the things that you're not. Keep what you're good at, because you can build that as a platform. And I was sharing with people, we all climb up the mountain differently. My way might not work for you, and vice versa. So they have to, I think, be well-rounded in this industry. Well-rounded.
No, but you definitely would agree with this though, that if someone came up to you today and said, "Hey, I want to do what you do," the first thing you tell them would be, "Go get some classes. Go to class."
Well, what I asked them is, say, what is your background right now? What have you done right now before I even tell them to go to classes? And then take classes, sign up with a casting agency, and there's different routes. So I went in a class just to sit in a few months back, and he's telling the people in there to wait a year before you go into acting on sets. If I waited a year, I would never have done everything that I was able to do so far in this year.
And I think for that though, I think what he's talking about, because most of the people he's talking to at that time, they're young. They're like 18, 19, maybe 20.
There's a mixed group of
I think it's different. It's like, because they're trying to get, yeah. I mean, you telling someone a little older, yeah, wait a year before you do it. You know what? Because your experience is much more as 40 than it is 20. So,
Yes.
I think you could, your maturity levels, you're an adult. You're an adult. You can grasp things a lot quicker. You can implement them a lot faster. That's the reason why a lot of, they tell the 19-year-olds wait a year.
Yeah.
That
And
way
I heard in this class, somebody else was in there talking about their experience and what they got to be on. They're like, it takes about 8 to 10 years. I said, do I get a senior discount? I was like, come on now, 8 to 10 years. I was like, give me something then. I should get a senior discount.
Um, so I mean, what was it like for you the first time you walked inside a class? I mean, was it anything, because you said that college wasn't for you, but you'd like to learn. Um, so you like to learn by doing, and a lot of times in acting classes, that's what they do. You learn by doing. Learn by doing. Um, uh, so how did you like that? I mean, was it something different from you? Were you expecting the workload? I mean,
I didn't even know what anything. I didn't expect anything. My friend Jennifer Warner had me do an audit to send into a class, and they brought me up to the thing, and I started reading, and then usually people are on their phone, they don't care who's up there. So I happened to look in the audience, everybody was watching me. I sweat. I actually, yeah. So dark shirts are always good. If you're going somewhere you think you might get nervous or sweat, because they couldn't tell unless they saw my sweaty armpit here. I was like, oh, why are they? I was like, why are they watching? They should be on their phone. That's what they should be doing. But it was good. And what I found out I'm really good at is improv. Really good with just coming up right there and then and feeding off of somebody else. So that area, I think, is a strength.
You think your military and police background really helped you there?
And being a mom and a wife, mom for 23 years of raising boys that get into so much stuff. I'm like, oh my God, really? I'm like, what? I think that the whole circumstance of everything I put myself through helped me. It didn't help, though, that I didn't know what to be aware of and what's out there. Like for commercials, I didn't know there's a principal world or, background. I didn't know the difference. And I guess because I kind of jumped ahead of things with the opportunities I had, and I kind of missed some of the imperative knowledge. I missed it. So now I'm kind of backtracking to make sure that I am being aware more. And also when people do come to me, I need to know who they are. Sometimes I can't take for face value because they're saying they're this, but they don't have nothing to back up on it. There's nothing. There's no work background. There's no anything to show they want to be it, but they're not it yet. So you can't say you're it until you have something showing you certificate, skills, your IMDb. A lot of people don't know. Check their IMDb's. Find out what they did. Of course, you got to start with background most of the time.
Was there any one particular person, maybe other than your acting coach? Was there any one particular person that you looked at and that inspired you, or took the time out to? Because acting is a notorious competitive business.
I did, but he was trying to share something, and I was kind of close, but then it wasn't fully what this person was saying. My acting coach, Paul Campanella. And also Billy McInerney, he's actually been in a lot of movies, and so Paul Campanella is very strategic by the book, really good. And William McInerney, when I had him for acting coach, he's very elaborate, a lot of passion, very out there. This and then more reserved. I had each end of the spectrum of acting coaches, and then you got to find what will work and what won't. Even with the auditions, I guess I did some auditions, not for the movie parts, but more for commercials. And what can you do without making it fail that you can stand out? What makes you stand out, and work on that? I think there's a lot of people, they're so unique and gifted and passionate, and I like that part of it. And they've been in it for 30 plus years. They're just a lot of I think that passion is what makes you excel, because you have a desire, and there can't be other motives. It can't be fake it till you make it, because you'll fake it your whole life. And you have to have something that you can stand on your own, not ride off of somebody else's coattail. It has to be legit. It has to be authentic. You can't. I mean, you can, but I don't think you're going to go far. I haven't seen anybody that had that nonsense go far. I see the ones that had that true drive. Yeah, so far. Yeah. Unless you burn yourself out.
I do think this, Nicole. I do think that your life experiences have really helped you. They have, you have practical experience You may not have the education, you may not have the MFA or the BFA, but you got practical experience, and I think that really has paid off for you. I mean, because you don't have to learn. There's a lot of things that you didn't have to learn because you already had those skills. Like handling a weapon.
Real
Doing
life
a stunt.
skills. Yes.
Doing a stunt, driving. Those sort of things. Riding a horse. You already had those skills, and that's an attractive skill set. So it wasn't like that you walked in there completely like blind. In a sense. I'm just saying hi to people that are coming into the
Oh,
chat.
good. So, yeah, it seems like there's a whole bunch, and I'm not good at that part. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's the pros of acknowledging. I do see everybody. Hi, thank you for tuning in.
Yep.
What I like is also too one of the scenes I went on. The trailer was on fire, real life, when I was a cop, and usually the police are always there first to make sure it's nothing dangerous. Contain, control, and communicate. The fire department was there, but we arrived first. And those ashes freaking burn. They're coming down. We had to make sure nobody was in the trailer, burning alive, or we had to get them out before the fire department came. There's things too where I did see someone die right in front of me, and they had that machine that wraps around them, and then I seen love triangles, soup sandwiches, I call them. They're all bloated bodies. Love triangles don't work out. Just gonna let you know. I see people that are hurting, the suicide. They have mental illness. There's Legal 2000s. It's a 72-hour hold. It's free. You can get your medical. You can get evaluated off the streets.
Now, do you see, like, that's what I'm saying? You see that, and you can bring that into your acting. Like you're playing a detective, or you're playing a doctor or a nurse or whatnot. You have that practical experience of your life that she's brought into it. And I think that will help you, going forward for sure. I've always said this: if I'm going to hire somebody for a job, I could sit there and I could take the guy who went to school for 4 years and has a degree, or I could take the guy who's worked for 4 years doing it. Who am I going to take? Yeah, he might have the experience, he might have the smarts, but he has the know-how. So really, I'm going to take the know-how.
Smarts is different.
Yeah. So going back to your first set, and you popped it out right off the bat. You got
on Jeff Hartley. I was excited.
Yeah.
But then I did find out, even if you get filmed, I was only on there for a couple seconds in that pilot when it aired. Even if you did all this other footage, I didn't know. They can just cut you out. So there's things coming up, and I don't want to announce until it comes up with hopefully really good. I did get to be on sets with a lot of good people. They were, and that's what keeps me going too, knowing that there is good people out there in this industry that they build, and it is movie magic. So it's what brings out the madness or the magic in you, and you want to be around people.
Now you and I talked about this at length about this, because you did start out with a bang. You got to work with on CSI Vegas. Then you started doing
Bar Rescue. I did Bar Rescue too.
Did you do? Oh, what were you? Oh, what did you?
I got to meet Chef Vic Vegas and John Taffer, and they work together with nonprofits. So Chef Vic Vegas is amazing, and I got to go on his Food Paradise. So every time I went on a set, I went on somebody else's that I met from there. It just opened up more and more doors. It's been really good. And then they got to know me, not just seeing, somebody. They got to know my background. They got to know my personality. They got to know my work ethic.
What did you do on Bar Rescue?
Well, they cut out the one interview part. I was like, oh, so good. You get to talk. He interviewed. I have like a little glimpse on my IMDb of it. What I thought of the place before and after. And so I got to be on 2 episodes on season 8, episode 3 and 4. And they just filmed another one out in, Vic just came back for us. So I can't wait to check out my buddies. Cause he's a chef and he's amazing. So I can't wait to check out his, upcoming season 9 on Bar Rescue. And he's also opening up Sinful Subs out here. Another one. With,
be honest with us, because we don't know about these shows too well, but how much of that is really done, and how much is that really like Hollywood?
No, it was messy. I don't want to down everybody. They needed the help. That was ridiculous. they needed somebody to come in there that knew what they were doing. I was just really shocked. I really wish I could have toured the whole place and not what I just saw that was falling apart. I wish I could have toured behind in the cooking kitchen. I probably would have ate the food though. I probably would have eaten the food. It'd be so, but I would have loved to tour behind it because it was a crap show, and they had to bust their butt. And John, really straightforward. He's very humble, no nonsense. So the excuses that people were giving him, no. And then he gave him a plan that's workable, and it was really good. It was night and day because the one I went on, they didn't even have any food at the bar. I said the guy had like a bag of chips. I gave him $20, tipped him. I said, "Can I have your chips?" And then there's other people that were part of the cast, and they're looking at me. I go, "Oh, now you want to talk to me because I had chips." It was.
We always hear about reality shows, reality TV shows, but you're always hearing that a lot of those shows are they're so Hollywood up, that it's not really
horrible. I'm telling you, that service, everything was really horrible. I couldn't believe it. I thought they were joking when they handed something that I was like, "Are you doing this purposely?" Because it was, they cut a lot of that out. You can't be too truthful, or they won't use it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So after you did bar rescue, and then you got your fingers wet, so to speak. You had to dabble. You had to go down. You had to go into the indie film world. Now, you and I talked about this at length. So, it's Vegas is a lot like the Wild Wild West for indie filmmaking, isn't it?
Saddle up.
Yeah.
Or not.
It's different. It's different, isn't it?
Well, I did meet some good people. Like I really enjoy Jeremy Settles. He has Got Films, and he's been trying to build Vegas up for a very long time. And I got to meet him on Blowback movie. And he does a nonprofit with his wife, Hookers for Jesus. I just like people that do the nonprofits that are actually taking all that work and energy. They actually make something for themselves and also give back to other people. But some of the industry people, they ruin it for other people. They are ruining it by any cons or scams. I don't like that. And I will come for them or I'll blast them. And it doesn't matter whatever they think, they need to straighten up. And that's why they don't get anywhere, because they're constantly doing this to people. I guess stick up for yourself. I don't care what means.
It's dicey though, isn't it? I mean,
yes.
You go out there and it must have been a little bit of a shock to come out there after working 2 good projects and walking out to your first set and your first indie set, and it's a little rough.
Well, I've been on other sets before that one that I didn't like. I've been on actually tons. I've been on I had movie No Mountain's going to come up on the red carpet. And that was really, I had a small but significant, really speaking role. So I thank Debbie Richards, and she brings up about homeless in Vegas. So I love that going back. What other set? I had a short film with the Peoples. Bobby and Renee Peoples are legit directors. They moved out here a year or 2 ago. Fantastic. There's been some really good directors and sets, except when they're doing good, and then you go to somebody else. If I would have went to that one person first, it would have took away from anybody else. I probably would have dealt with any lower end, nothing. I just would have done it. So I'm glad I did have the good experiences first, so I can differentiate.
Yeah. That's a really good point, Nicole. I mean, you're blessed, because I think if you would have walked inside, especially since you didn't know anything really, you're so inexperienced. I think you're right. I think if you would have walked on a set without knowing anything on an indie set, you're right. I don't think you would have stayed. I think you would have said, hell no. And you would have
didn't want to stay after the one experience I had, but I had friends that are like, no, you have something, you're good. But it was just it shook me up. But in a way, if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be able to help other people out. I wouldn't be able to address it. And I think I need to also have people know that there's people that care and will stand up to any cons or the scum or whatever you want to call it. I was like, man, I said, you can run, but you can't hide, because I've been in Vegas 17 years.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Our friend John Shelton is here. I'm going to say hi to John here.
You're right.
Glad you're here, sir.
I didn't see John say anything. Do I say? Oh, I do say hi, guys. Okay,
this is John Shelton. He's watching you from the UK. There's our friend Kevin.
I would love to do a film out there. I had a couple reach out. It's just if I'm going to go out there, they have to do their work as much as I've done mine. If anybody comes to me with any kind of productions, because like I said, I like being a cast. I like being the crew part. I like being a producer. And I haven't done stunts in films yet, but I would like to do stunts since I did have the burns I got to do in the falls off of 30 feet houses. I enjoy the law enforcement part of it because I was a cop. So I did have a short film that I was a cop in it.
Now, how do you like doing short films? How many short films have you done?
1, 2, 3. I think only like a handful. I did more feature films than I've done short films, I think.
What do you think about the short film format? I mean,
easy. It's a lot easier than a feature film to be on.
Yeah.
And it's more intimate, and I really like the ones I've been on. I'm excited to help out too and get people with the right cast and crew. So if you get the good cast crew chemistry, I mean, it's almost like a dream team. I've been on a couple of sets that I've been chasing now, wanting to have that same cast and crew chemistry. I was like, I've been chasing that awesome set team I had. I had it on 2 so far. I had it on Death Club with the Patel Films, Neil Patel. And I've had it on Sean Phillips and Lauren Francesca's Woods Witch. So I'm going back on his set at the end of April next month for Mistletoe Massacre. Because it was so much fun. I mean, it was just, it's not just... it was like a film family I got to build. We teased each other. We posed in silly poses. And we got our work done. We did the lines. We were all there. That part was fun. So I like that kind of. Oh, and my favorite too, even though you can't always share it, I like those behind the scene pictures because I want to see what are they about. I can kind of get off of pictures too. Do I want to be part of their next production? I kind of check out other people's work and see how good it was or how good it wasn't. And that what makes me want to kind of expand in different production, not only here in California that I've done. I would like to check out the States or overseas. I kind of want to expand out a little bit, spread my little wings.
Looks like there are now. John's mentioning that that he's heard of Mistletoe Massacre.
Oh my!
Yep.
It's going to be so much fun. They're going to have cameos and placement products in there. It is. I can't wait to go there. It's going to. There's a lot of people I know that are going to be part of the set, and they're fantastic. Each one. I'm just excited. And I'm glad that Sean and Lauren brought me on their Woods Witch. That was really fun. I just didn't know because I recently was burned on something that I was worried about. He assured me, and you know what? They're right. I had to test it out, and then if something's good, I share it to everybody. I won't share it unless I've experienced something good, and everybody else has too. Everybody else on that set was so good. It's something. Yeah, I can't wait to be part of that one. I wish it was now. So it's like.
I like this. See, John says he's heard of the Lauren Francesca is doing a movie called Amityville Karen.
Yeah. Excuse me, everyone. I had Taco Bell fast food shop.
Thank God.
Before I come on this set or this this talk. Yeah, they just came out with the Amityville Karen. I can't wait. It looks good.
Now, how would you like to do a movie like that?
He reached out to me, but I didn't acknowledge it at the time. I think I was pulled in other sets. I was on other sets, and but he circled around then for Woods Witch, and then I went on that one. And I'm glad he did reach out to me because it was now and so far my favorite set I've ever been on. And I've been on
Woods Witch.
Woods Witch was fantastic, and this one's supposed to be really put more together. I was like, more than. I can't wait. I am really excited for Sean Phillips and Francesca Eastwood. Lauren Francesca, sorry.
Yeah.
Lauren Francesca just together, that dual team, they're amazing. They are really, I think their production.
Do you know how Sean got his start?
Huh?
Do you know how Sean got his start?
I think he told me. I don't remember. I don't follow up too much. But he has quite a extensive IMDb of work. He
Uh,
has. Must have
Actually,
been about.
you got to start here. You got to start here on YouTube.
Oh, you too. Okay, yeah. I think
Mhm.
he was telling me something about that. But yeah, Sean Phillips
Yeah,
and Lauren
that's why
Francesca
if you hear
are.
you'll hear people they call him coup dooter.
Oh, really? What's that
Yeah.
mean?
Uh, he was a child actor. Um, and when he was little, even he was really heavy when he was a kid. So when he started his YouTube channel, he went on a weight loss journey, and as he did it, he also started becoming like a film collector. So he would go out and about and collect films, talk about some of the roles he did, and then he'd go out there and he'd buy all these different movies. He's got if you ask him about his movie collection, it's
I
insane. His
will.
movie collection, he's got thousands of them.
My God,
Um, and
fantastic guy.
yeah,
So
uh,
far, fantastic. I felt so gratitude for him
that-
connecting and Lauren because they treat people really good and I am I think they made about 75,000 without even announcing any celebrities or anything on it. That's how much people are wanting to be a part of their upcoming productions. And if they get this situated, this upcoming one, I was like, don't forget about me. I was like, don't, because sooner or later when people find out there's good productions and it's happening, they don't have to put anything out there. People are already going to come to them. They're already going to want dibs on upcoming productions.
Uh, so you know what? Let's talk about that because we talked about it earlier,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we probably should talk about it a little bit more because this has been a seems like a rising thing here. And hi
Mm-hmm.
Charles, how are you, sir?
Who's that? Oh, Charles.
Charles Cochran's here.
Hi, hi, hi. See a lot of
Um,
highs.
so one of the things that we do you found out about too, and it's not so glamorous, is we because we've talked about it here on this show and other people are doing it or whatnot. It used to be that when people first started Indiegogos, right? When they first started crowdsourcing, what they would do was this is years ago. What they would do is they would offer, I need to raise $10,000 for my project, and then they would have various layers of rewards. Like if you donated $5, you got so they said thank you on Twitter. Or if you donated $20, you would get they would come on, they would do a little snippet and say hi, hi Joe, and then eventually it got so where if you donated $500, you could come out there and get killed by your icon, or get a producer credit, or get an IMDb. And then slowly but surely, it has evolved to where it's now. It's like these
Acting
movies
part of it. I
the
get what you're saying.
crowdsourcing. Yeah, the crowdsourcing now is now people aren't satisfied with just the perks. They want to go up there and say, I don't want a movie database credit. I don't want that for my $500. I want more. I want to come out there and do lines. I want to go out there and get a line or two. And it's really affecting the quality of the movies. I think a lot of the quality of the movies, because we're all reviewers, a lot of us here are reviewers, and there's a lot of movies that we will watch and we will just sit there and it's like, this is some shit because it's not well. It's because it's not acted well.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
not
they
made
need
well.
to change it a little bit. Now that you brought it up, they need to change it. If you're going to buy that perk, you have to audition for it too, so you're not knowing your lines when you show up.
I
That's the
think
number
that's
one
fair.
rule. You have
I
to know
think
your
that's
lines.
actually fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's actually.
I think if you go up there and you get up there and you donate, okay, this is what you get for your perk. But if you really want to be in this movie, you got to audition for it. And the chances are they're not going to get it because they're not actors. That enables them to both get the audition process. They're treated as we're treating it seriously. You could go ahead and you can audition for this role. Now, if you don't get it, it's not because we're up against you. We're not, because who knows? You might catch lightning in a bottle. You could catch somebody who is actually a natural performer. It could happen, but you have to audition for it. I can't emphasize this enough that I don't think it's right for them to be so desperate for the money that they give somebody a working actor's part.
I get what you're saying. You know what? That
Yeah,
is a good point. So if anybody does want those speaking parts, and they don't have any background, but they want that, uh, you're gonna have to audition for it. We'll see
yeah,
if it's something you can work on. And
yeah.
if not, and it looks like total garbage, you don't want the garbage in there. I
No,
100% understand what you're saying.
yeah. I just, it would be just absolutely, like I said, we were talking, and so like you audition for the cab driver. Okay, the cab driver is like the main character's best friend. You want it because you're a working actress. You've gone to school for it. You got practical experience. You're an actress. That's what you do. Here I come. I donate $500, and I walk onto the set, and they say, "Oh, because you donated $500, or if you donate another $200, we'll give you the cab driver role."
And I get bummed.
And then you go ahead and you're on, you're out there, walking the dog.
The newspaper. You said I'll be the newspaper. I guess that's right.
Yeah, the newspaper boy. Yeah, that isn't right.
I do, and you know what? That is something to address. I like how you explained it. For people, yeah, you have all these people and some celebrities on there, and then they pay for something, and it's total shit. And
yep.
Say that. I mean, garbage.
The thing that is, yes, you're gonna get your budget. Okay, you're gonna raise your $30,000 or $40,000. You're gonna get that money. You are gonna get it. Okay, but here's what happens. You go ahead and you make it out and roll it out, and it's dog shit. It's a horrible movie because it's poorly acted. I mean, I don't know how many times we commented on the acting. The acting is not good. The acting's really poor. The acting. I bet you a lot of those movies are basically crowdsourced. I want to talk to about John Doomsday Crypt. I want to get him in on the mix. He says, "Oh, thank you, John Shelton. Thank you." John Doomsday Crypt says, "I think a lot of that happens because so many indie projects now, some campaigns feel the only way to get funds is to actually film to actually film projects. I personally wouldn't, but I do get why some do. Do I like it? Nope." Now, see, John and I, we agree on this, and you do too. And like I said, I mean, anybody who wants to get an eye opener, rewatch the Sadie Katz interview, because we talk about this.
No, I can't wait to see. I have to watch her interview. I really enjoyed when I met her on Death Club, and I thought I was going to be with her on Woods Witch, but we had different set days.
I mean, she's a professional. She's got a great record. Got a great. I mean, she's a star. And here she is. She's sitting there telling us that, like, here I am. I'm talking to somebody who doesn't know anything. I'm trying to get him to line up with me. I'm trying to, because they don't know what they're doing. They're just, it'd be like me walking on set. I have zero idea what to do. I have no idea.
And somebody new like that would not know they were being unfair. They don't know because they haven't put any, just like when I was on that Warner Brothers. I wouldn't know until I paired up with a guy, which I thought was a cougar. So I'm like, I'm going to hold on to your arm and you're going to take me to the marks. I made it work because there's no way. But if you're on that, I do get it because they could upstage someone where they're constantly being in the way. They're moving around too much. They're not in the frame. Right. They don't know what to wear. They don't know when on cue. They don't know how to listen to other people and feed off their acting. So there's a totality of that.
And the thing is though, it's not like those guys can sit there and say, "It's okay. We got time. We got time. We don't necessarily need this. Time is money. And a lot of times, a lot of these movies are being made so fast. We don't have time to go back there and a lot of these movies, indie movies, they don't really have time to really even do rehearsal.
The pickup scenes too.
Yeah.
So I didn't get rehearsal, and it would have been nice to have it.
I just think that I think it's just it's I don't know, it's desperation versus need, I guess. They're desperate to get it, that they need the money. To me is this is my point of view. My point of view is this, I've commented on this before. It's like, okay, so let's just say you budget your movie and you got $5,000, right? Now there's two things you could do with that. One, you have $5,000 in your hand. There's two things. One, you could take the $5,000 and then go shoot with it with what you got. Or two, look, it took you 3 months to raise the $5,000. Why not wait another 3 months for you to get the other half of that money so you can make a good movie? So you can go ahead and hire professionals, hire professional actors,
And
hire.
not a new director. If you're raising all that money and you hire a newbie first-time director with everybody else's funds and it goes to crap because of
Yeah.
it.
Now that happened to you. You were on a. You were doing.
Careful. Yes, it did. But I have to be careful because it is now water under the bridge. But I just warning people that look into what they check out their IMDb. It's all you have to do. It'll show background, a co-star, like a supporting role, what have they done? Check their freaking IMDb. And if they're like, oh, I just didn't put things up there, say, well, when you do, come back to me. We'll talk. Because a lot of people are saying, I'm this, and this, but they really didn't earn that yet.
No.
So, and same with me. I tell everybody, I was like, don't tell people you're new. They think you're there longer. No. I am very straightforward, and what I have done and what I am going to do doesn't mean I did do it. That doesn't count.
Right. Yeah. Right. What do you? How do you prepare for a role, Nicole? How do you prepare?
Hours, 6 to 8 hours. I put aside a day, over and over again, reading, and then I tape myself, and then I also do research on the person. For that one for Wood's Witch for Meredith, she lost her brother. So I did research on YouTube and other movies where they lost somebody. Then they're doing an interview on this person. I just did a lot of research. It took a lot. And then filming, usually, when someone is doing something, they have something in their hand. I put a necklace. So when Meredith, my character, was upset, I played with my necklace a little bit. You have to bring something into it, and it has to be believable, and you have to be on cue. You have to take apart the arc of a character. And what my friend, my acting coach, Paul Campanella, said, you should not get caught acting. You do not get caught acting.
Right. Now, does your husband help you run lines?
He has to, yes. They usually hide from me when I have the script in my hand. My husband and kids they run from me. I'm like, where are you going? I'm like, get back over here. Yes, and if they get it wrong.
I meant to ask you earlier, how did you meet your husband?
I met him in '98 at Edwards Air Force Base when I was in the military.
Oh, okay. Okay. Was he also military as well?
Yes, he was in the same squadron as me. And it was weird because I was wondering how I kept getting posted with him. He made the roster.
Oh, did he?
The roster. So I'm like, oh, it's so weird. We're getting posted again together. So yeah. I just turned 19 when I met him, and he was 26. So we've been together since I was 19 years old, and I am 42 now.
Congratulations! That's awesome. What's his name?
Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Yeah, let me see, Kevin. I'm gonna have to Kevin. Kevin Gregg.
I think we're gonna get a cameo appearance. This will not be the first.
I would like him to. I give him a heads up.
This is not a.
All right. Thank you. All
right. Yeah. This is. We've had husbands cameo before.
There should be enough room for him. Oh, good. Yeah. And he could share with his experience. I actually didn't really ask him too much of what he experienced through my experience. I have made him audition though before for some of the Bascal YouTube clippings, and we did it for Boyd Gaming, like a couple thing, and he was so cute and he was so nervous. I'm talking naturally like this, and he's like looking away. He's like, but he could come with me if he wants. Nobody wants to come with me to the acting classes. Kevin.
Now, do you have a?
Come on, Doc. You got this. He's like, be nice to him.
Yep.
Welcome him in.
Wow. Welcome. Well, everybody give Kevin a hello in the chat. Nice to meet you, sir.
Hello, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Your wife has been telling us some fun stories about her career.
Yes.
How do you like it so far, being a husband of an actress?
It's different. It's very different. Yes. Hardest part, believe it or not, is going over the lines with her. When she has to go over the lines, slates, it's over. and over and over. I'm like, you did good, you're good. She's like, no, I need to do it again. I'm like,
Or
no,
he-
you're good, you're fine.
Yeah, or he messed up, so
Or I'll mess up and she'll say, you said it wrong. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh gosh.
Or
That's
I won't
awesome.
correct her because she'll say this instead of then. And she's like, I got to get it exactly right. I'm like, well, it sounded good to me.
So do you tell her that you're improving? I'm improving, honey. I'm improving.
No,
Yes,
he doesn't
yeah.
even know what really fully that means. He's never had to improv. No.
You know
Right,
what?
the
He might find out by the end of tonight.
Yes.
Could
Or whatever
be
she
very-
does, I'll support her in. I'll support her no matter what it is.
So how do you have you seen some of her work so far?
Yes. I've seen it all,
And
every
we-
single one.
And as
Yeah,
as a professional film lover as you are, how would you rate her performances?
Well, no. No, she does really good. She does really good. No, she does really good. She knows how to get into the character. So she knows how to bring the character to life, which is really good.
That's
really
fine.
good.
You must be really proud of her.
Yes.
What do you make of this? What does he make of this? Because it happened a lot. So he has a lot of people, like he was telling me at work, that come up to him.
Yeah, like the one came up to me the other day and he goes, hey, your wife was in a movie with she's gonna be in a movie with Kevin Hart. And I was like, well, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, how do you know? And then she's like, oh, we checked out our IMDb because somebody said your wife's an actor and actress, and we looked her up on our IMDb and then we looked at all her stuff and they're like, oh my God, she was in Saudi Arabia. She goes, I was there. I was almost there with her at the same time. So it's there's a lot of people, and we'll be out in public, and people are like, oh, there's Nicole Vegas. There's Nicole Vegas.
They scream it. I'm like, it's Nicole Butler, but no one cares.
Yeah, how fun is that? I mean, it must be really cool, you know?
Is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I'm used to it. I'm used to it.
He's used to people coming up
All the
before
time.
that, before even this. Yeah.
Yeah, wherever we just did a lot of shows here in Vegas, and people would come up and say, oh, can I get your picture with you? Can I get your picture? I just said, okay.
It was weird. That's
Yes,
before I
okay.
started acting, so it shouldn't be any different, except for now they're gonna know my work history or my MVD. But I'm glad he supported me because I didn't even know. It was so. There's times where I've been so overwhelmed because so many people came at me with different projects, and he supports me because I'm like, should I do all this? Should I say no? It's a team effort.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I like that she's getting into. I wanted to get into horror movies because we're both big horror fans.
Oh, can you see his this is what we love. Is that it?
That's it.
Hold on. Freakman Brothers, horror shows, the Trilogy of Terror. We've been going. It's a haunted house that comes once a year here in Vegas. It's family owned. We love Freakman Brothers Haunted House. And we love JT Molnar. He does movies.
Yeah, it's the craziest haunted houses you ever be in. One of them you got to sign a waiver.
Oh, really? Yeah, one of those.
Grab you
Yeah.
and throw you.
Shock you.
Yeah, they'll shock you. Literally shock you.
What was your response, Kevin? What did you think of when she came to you and she said, honey, I want to go ahead and I want to try my hand at acting. Did it come out of the blue, or was it something that she'd been talking to you about that she wanted to try?
No, believe it or not, when we used to live in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, we got out of the military. She wanted to do something like that back then. She actually was on her mind back then.
Okay.
No.
And I said, I go to New York City.
I guess I said it once. I brought it up once, and he's like, "No, you have family," so I never did it.
But then when she brought it up here, I'm like,
That was a long time ago. That was 20
years
ago. And he said no. And so I went and just did law enforcement because that was my passion. But I guess I did that. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That at one time I thought about it because people used to come up to me and be like, do you model? Are you on TV? And I was like, maybe I should, because people kept coming up to me throughout the years. They kept coming and coming. Like,
I knew this was happening. See, she was trying to get us from Pennsylvania to from Saudi Arabia to Vegas without the middle part. So I had to bring you in here to ask you that question because I couldn't get that from her because she was so excited. I'm going like, it had to come from somewhere. Where did it come from that she wanted to be an actress? So now we know it was in Pennsylvania.
Yes, and then she did. Actually, she did. Like I said, I don't know if she talked about it. I think she did. She talked about it. She did. She helped out Chaplain Dow. Yeah, and then she actually went on like a she volunteered to help like a military thing to be like a victim for a chemical attack or something in the military. And then she met other people there and they connected her and it was just
it's Corey Thompson. He does know. He knows that. But I forgot that I did want to go to New York City when I was in my early 20s because people used to come to me and say things but then we did have a very young family and my party is my family. But now that I'm older, seasoned, I was like, well, let me see what this is all about. But it started last year and it was kind of cool how doors opened up and
It started out as a hobby, and now it's just blossom and blossom.
Now, are you ready for her to see her act? You ready for? Have you died on screen yet? Nicole?
I'm supposed to.
Wait, have you died? No,
no, not yet.
not yet.
Are you gonna be able to handle?
Really
how are you gonna be able to handle that, Kevin? That's real horror. That's real horror right there.
That's fine. Like I said, we love horror movies, so that'd be fine for me. I don't. That wouldn't faze me at all.
You're gonna be one of those guys sitting in the theater. You're gonna be one of those guys in the theater going, "More blood, put more blood."
No, that wouldn't. No, it wouldn't faze me at all. It wouldn't faze me at all. I would actually. It'd be neat. It'd be neat to see it because I know she'd really, really want that.
I think it's
only in the movies.
Yeah, only in the movies. Nobody put in there. Yeah, some psycho. It's like
yes.
So, which woods is the one? I guess we're all circling. That's going to be the big one for you.
This one's coming out. Mistletoe Massacre is going to be the one filmed April 21st to the 27th. No, we're fine, hon. See right here? This is what it shows. Okay. This doesn't show it. I know. So here, and then you just look there.
You guys are a lovely couple. This is fun.
Yeah.
No burning inside of you though, right? Kevin? No, like I got the itch too. Now that I see how it is.
No, because I did it already. I already did it. I got picked and she didn't.
Here we go. This is what you guys get now. Go ahead.
No, when we were in the military, they filmed on Edwards Air Force Base. They filmed a movie on base with James Woods, Annabeth Gish, and I actually got picked to be in it. And I had my own little scene where I actually had like 3 or 4 scenes, but one of them was like 15 seconds of just me. Just me walking around.
Just him, yeah. So
yeah, it was good, and I made the final cut. So
wow.
Race to space.
Wow, okay.
That's it. I had enough. Now it's her turn. I had enough.
He would like to do it. He enjoys.
She's meant for it, though. She's born for it.
Yes, she has to. She definitely has the passion for it, doesn't she? She definitely has the drive. I agree with that, and I really admire the both of you. You work very much on giving back to your community. You guys do a lot of charity work and together as a team, and you guys like giving back. I was really attracted to that. I think that's really great, and you guys are to be commended for that.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, if he wasn't supporting me, then I couldn't be with him. So the things like when we did the Project Free Manny's or the Vietnamese American Lions Club, we got to go right to the streets. So I had him make some food because I don't cook. That's the reason he got me too. He cooks. I get hungry a lot. He cooks. That's how he got me.
He
got me.
She's the cook.
No, I'm the cook. Yes.
Yeah, he's the cook. Yeah, I was like, I get hungry, and he used to make all this food. Still does. So I'm like, I still never got the knack for cooking, but he did make big platters, and I was able to buy at Costco like the lids and then the plastic, and we handed out food nonstop. It goes quick though. I mean, there's like 200 to 300 people out there.
Yeah, I was surprised how many homeless people there are out here. I was shocked.
Yeah, I always make him do stuff. He always doesn't want to do something, and I'm like, and then he does it. He goes, "Thank you so much for having me do it."
Now, I was going to ask you earlier, Nicole. Have you decided maybe you're going to try to, would you consider spreading your wings a little bit and trying to go to LA for some auditions and some roles, or are you just going to stay straight to stay?
I thought about spreading my wings. I haven't. I did apply for something and I got it right back. My first time I ever applied for anything, not Vegas wise or somebody reaching out to me, and it's from Georgia, so I do have to do that. And if there's, I did have people send me managers that they have gone through and want to help me, but I was so new that I didn't want to not have enough built to be able to go forward, because that's not fair. I can't just be like how I did my first day on that Warner Brothers set, and I have to be. I'm getting it now. I'm tracking it. It's coming full circle of what I need to know, what I have to work on, which is everything still, forever and ever and ever. Like it's never ending. I can't believe how much there is to know, and there's interviews too. Jamie Monroe, they did this film industry awards last year, and he liked that I just able to talk to people, and he's like, do you want to do interviews? So if it comes about this year, I don't mind going to people on the red carpet events and talking to them. Who are you? What are you about? Share. And I like that part. And then there's commercials and short films and feature films and stunts and producing. It's endless. I do. We can't
Yes,
share
okay,
that.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. The rule of the thumb is that if it's not on the movie database page, you can't talk about it.
Yes.
you can't.
Uh, uh,
Don't
so I mean,
get like
yeah, it's a fine line. I've had more than one go like, well, I did. Oh, I'm not sure if I could talk about that because you got to sign that that NDA. I can't talk about it, but it's so fun and it's like, but I can't say anything. I can't even tell you who's in it. So
if
we
someone
get
ever
that.
asks me,
We
I don't
understand
know
that.
what you're
Yes.
talking about.
Yep.
Nope, got that wrong until it shows something else, and then I can say, you know what? I can talk about something now. There is a fine line. There is a fine line. People don't even realize. You really have to know not just how to protect yourself. You're protecting the production you're on too. And if you mess that up, good luck
Yeah.
ever getting on it.
Oh my gosh! I mean, this is a problem here on YouTube. The thing with YouTube is, and believe me, there's a lot of people here who will agree with this. There's no such thing as a secret. If your movie comes out, like if a big movie comes out, and you don't want to know the spoilers, you get off of YouTube. Don't look at YouTube because if you do, you're going to find out everything you need to know about it, whether you like it or not, because everybody's going to be talking about it. So it's like if you don't want to know, don't go on YouTube until you see the movie.
I am waiting for this one thing, and there was a professional photographer for that back on the strip, and I might not make it, but like I said, I did have a good part with someone. But they took professional pictures that they said they'll be posting when the production's done. So I'm excited to at least have that because I didn't take it. He was like, you can take your own pictures. I'm like, you're not setting me up for that one. It says no, and I'm a rule follower. No, right by the books. I will not. If they say whatever they say, I will keep it to that. I will not.
How would you guys, as a husband and wife, do you guys ever talk about the depth of the roles that you might play? Like if someone asked you, Nicole, to play a serial killer, and maybe one of the victims that you have to kill is a child, is there something that you guys talk about as a couple? Like, do you tell Kevin, like, I'm playing a killer, and I'm not really sure, if I could go ahead and do that?
There is something that was brought up to me by somebody else, and they were talking about a mother that had their child die, and when this person was telling me my because I'm a mother, it would kill me. It would push me over the edge. It would destroy me. I don't know how much of that I could play in it without it psychologically wiping me out. So those emotions are something serious. Now for a serial killer, I would probably connect to somebody that is and get and start doing the networking and in the mindset and studying everything because it's something that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, but I have no problem. That's like just a movie thing.
Now, if it's a spoof kind of serial killer, that's not. But if it's something that's a documentary, something that's like something that you are bringing to bring justice for that real life situation, absolutely. That's a lot of work. As soon as I found out, I'd have to be doing it right there and then, doing all the work and studying and getting into the part in every way I can.
I talk about the spoilers, and Casey's mentioning can't trust people not to put spoilers on their YouTube's thumbnails nowadays. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if he said which woods, Wood Witch is out, and I don't want to know the spoiler, rest assured, if I stayed on YouTube for a day, rest assured, I'm gonna see it or hear about it. And people are gonna be out there. And the thing is, though, they don't really care about that, and it sort of sucks for the fans.
That's just for everything.
Yeah,
that's everything that's on there. Every social media page. I'm like, if we want to see a show, something that's coming on, I'm like when Walking Dead was really popular when it first came out. I'm like, we can't. I said, like, we have to watch it right now because it's not. I can't even go on Facebook or anything.
It's
gonna be spoiled. Everybody's gonna put it on there.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating, especially with a hot popular show or a movie. If it's a small independent movie, most of the time people haven't seen it yet, or haven't seen it enough to actually talk about it. But if it's a big movie or big show like CSI Vegas or whatnot like that, yeah, they're gonna be talking. They're gonna be talking their full heads off. Oh, you can't believe what happened on the show last night.
Yes.
Or how about you not say anything until I can find out, so I can not believe it myself.
Right? But for that Woods Witch, I think for us, they're gonna do. It was awesome. I want a poster. I told him, I said, if you do a red carpet event, I have those posters there. I want people to sign. I want to have that kind of collection.
Yeah.
I want
I think that would be fun. I think that would be fun for you guys to do that. I think more actors should do that, is to ask for, just ask for one piece of a prop, like, can I get this, even if it's just a t-shirt or something like that, just, or, if it's a bloody rag or something like that, part of the prop. Like,
well, I have my
Yep.
wish for that mistletoe massacre. Because I think if he's doing it that route, I want a poster, and I guess you could do a special poster of just you with the characters around it. But I would like it signed, and I would like to have memorabilia on my wall. I would like to start having.
Yeah, that'd be really neat to do that.
I think so too.
Proud of something that I was a part of, and it kept building more and more. I really feel that Sean Phillips and Lauren Francesca, the duo they have so far from that, what I've seen is really impressive. I'm giddy over it. Kevin knows. That's what I talk about.
Good. Yes.
I am set. I mean, and there's other productions too. However, I just feel like a certain attachment, I guess. I just can't wait.
I probably shouldn't be it'd be a bad time to bring up a restricted area, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, Patrick, I gotta go feed my son and our dogs. They're going nuts.
Sure.
Thanks for having me on. Nice meeting you. Nice seeing everybody out there.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. All right. Take care.
So thanks, Nicole. That was fun.
Yeah, because our dog is whimpering at the door.
Right. Well, before he came up, I did two things. One, I gave the cheetah a huge bowl of food, and then two, I gave him catnip, so he'll eat and then he'll pass out.
That works. That really works. I am excited to see what opportunities and how I build myself and how I connect and collaborate with other people. And then just like my one friend, he reached out to me with the nonprofits because they have ones that they gave back during the red carpet. When they did other ticket sales, it went to a proceeds, like the 777 Lucky Film Challenge. Ben Stauber ended up having each of the films give back to a nonprofit. And that part, I back people that give back like that. I love that part of it. That part was amazing.
One last question for you. We'll go out on a high note here. Would you consider doing theater? Live theater.
I could prefer. There is ones that are auditioning right now out here. Theater's different from what I heard. It's more theatrical, like more makeup, more brilliance. And in film, it's more focused on just this. It's not because you have to be more elaborate, which you get to be. Maybe I could do that because I have a lot of this. Yeah. But they're trying to make me into this.
Would you like to give a live theater a try?
I think if the opportunity presents itself, I did see the summer theater and they do have auditions going on. I just can't sing like a dying bird. If they have a part that someone has to be the worst singer, I guess it would be me. I'm like, la, la.
Oh, there's productions out there that don't make you sing. There's just straight dramas or comedies or
comedy would be fun. From the sets I've been on Blowback. I had a whole bunch of people are just always like, you're so funny. I'm like, I wasn't even trying to be funny. I was like, what are you talking about? They like that. They said I should do stand up. I don't know about all that. I should try it though, just to see what it's about. I do want to kind of maneuver over everything. Like, is this good? Is this work? Okay, I can do this a little bit more. Oh, is this work? I just want to dabble in it.
There's actually a very well-known indie screen queen. She's done a lot of horror films, and on the other side of her, she is a stand-up comedian. She could do horror, and she turns around and she does and then she does stand-up. She goes all over and does stand-up. I mean, you see her, you would never know that she's a screen queen. I mean, or better yet, you see her and wouldn't believe that she's a stand-up comedian.
So she has that range.
Yeah.
I like that. That makes it fun. I like fun. I like interesting. and those people are so boring. I'm like, oh my gosh, at least be the most boringest fun person. Like make it fun boring. Like I think do I have ADHD? Probably. And that's why I'm always like all over. And you're like, Nicole.
I don't know about that. I mean, you know what? I'm not.
And D. We're A, B, C. And I'm like A, D, F, back to B. And you're like, no, Nicole, A. We're not. Let's do this sequence. I'm like, I'm all over. I'm all over.
I mean, you know what? You know what? I wouldn't say that. I would sit there and say that you have the exuberance and the passion, basically, you're doing something now that you probably wanted to do when you were, obviously we know that now, that you were younger, but now you're getting a chance to do it. You're a late bloomer.
I mean, once I thought of it once, I talked to him, he didn't agree. So I never did beyond thinking of it. I was like, oh, well, maybe I should go to New York City and look for modeling. A lot when I was younger, a lot of people were like, they would take pictures of me, or they would say, oh, what are you modeling? They'd come up and tell me all this. So I was like, oh, maybe I'm meant to, but I didn't get the support. So I didn't go that route because my family's more, that's my priority. Because when at the end of the day, what is the most important thing is family for me.
Yeah.
Not the career, not the title, not any of that. It is family. I mean, that's what counts in my book. And I guess I forgot about it. And a whim, I brought it up, and then it was done. It was shut down. And then I just went on from there. I never thought about anything until recently. And then, yeah, it worked out so far. I mean, every day it changes. And the thing is, even if you do everything right on your end, whoever you're attached to has to do right on their end.
Right.
Or it doesn't happen. So yeah, I'm excited, but I do get tired a lot because this energy.
Well, you gotta be careful and don't burn out. You don't want to do that. But listen, I'm going to let you go. That way you can go ahead and join your family for dinner. I'm going to go ahead.
We already had dinner. We had Taco Bell before I came. That's why I was burping it up. I burped it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Oh, well, that's live. Hey, that's live theater, right? That's what happens. That's the risk you take. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on. I know this will not be the only interview that you get. I do know that there is somebody else that wants to have a crack at you as far as interviewing you. So
I better do a good stretch for that one. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. And if you really want to make him happy, just tell me your favorite horror icon is Leatherface. That'll make him happy because he's a big Leatherface fan. So let him know that, and tell him I said so. And
okay. I got that written down. Leatherface. Well,
that's right.
Okay, they'll go. Which Leatherface do you like? I mean, is he gonna really? I better do my homework before I say that.
That's right. Yeah. Which Leatherface do you like on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Because that guy's like the ultimate. And
I just said good luck. I just started reading some of the things. I guess I'll have to go back and read some of this because I was more focused talking to you than looking at the.
No, you can go back and watch it, and for the replay. I do put it out in the replay. I want to thank the chat for coming out there and hanging out with us. I should do this real quick, and I should do my due diligence. If you have any questions, just want to say good luck with working with Lauren and Sean on Mistletoe Massacre. Does anybody have any questions before we let our guests go? Anybody have any questions?
Anything that they want to share, connect to, support?
Yeah, we will be putting all your social media links down in the description box. So if people want to find you, they definitely will.
Oh. Thank you so much just for taking the time, especially earlier today. It felt good. It felt good to connect to you. A good person, good vibes. Gave me a lot of food for thought with the experience you've had, and to take with me when I go in whatever direction I decide to take.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I mean, you know what? Don't let people, because they'll take, if you give them an inch, they'll go a mile. So don't do that.
To make sure I have really savvy boundaries. And I have to separate the Nicole from this to the Nicole from my ordinary life, where I am a giver and I'm always helping out, to maintain its professional and to set the guidelines of where I do really want to help out and what I can help out instead of just all over the place trying to make everybody else happy. And that part can't make everybody happy.
It's okay, Jamie. We got replay. We got replay. Our friend Jamie Hart is here. She's how are you feeling, Jamie? She's a singer and she knows everything there is to know about David Lynch and Twin Peaks. Ask her a question, she'll know it. And she's also a terrific singer. So, but no, thank you so much. We will talk again soon when Missile Massacre comes out. When
Missile Massacre
comes out, when that comes out, when it hits the market or streaming or wherever it hits first, we'll come back and talk about it.
Oh, excellent! I'm excited. And Woods Witch, because that was a good one too.
And, right, and that one too.
Funny.
For sure. It's okay. I will thank everybody for once again in the chat. You guys are awesome. We'll be back here Friday with Bill Obrist Jr. 8:00. Bill Obrist Jr. He was on Criminal Minds. He was on 3 from Hell with Rob Zombie. He will be here on Friday 8:00. And then tomorrow night at 10:00, I'll be here tomorrow night at 10 for the Midnight Hour with Mr. Bones, Jennifer, Katie, and possibly Casey. I'm not sure, but we'll be here tomorrow night. All right, everybody, have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace. Thank you. Good night.
Stay right where you're at, Nicole.